Yeah. All right, Kelly. Kelly, we'll start with this meeting first. We're going to start with this meeting first. Yeah, let's go ahead and start. All right, good morning. See if that's on. All right, good morning. Welcome. We have our first meeting is a Board of Equalizations meeting. We have two items on our Board of Equalizations. They're both to approve the Board of Equalization Assessors approved review process report, and also the second one is to approve the Equalizations hearing process report. Any questions on those?
No.
Okay, motion to be in order.
I'll move that we approve regular agenda items number 1 and 2.
Second.
I got a motion and a second to approve both items 1 and 2 on our agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 3-0.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
And a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We're now adjourned from that meeting. We'll pause 1 second as we.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear us? Can you hear us now? Okay, thank you. We'll switch the recordings and start with a new one. Ready? Okay. We're now, welcome this morning. We're now in our Board of County Commissioners meeting. And as always, we start with a prayer, reading, or thought, and pledge of allegiance. Look to the audience to see if there's any that'd be willing to participate with us in that prayer, reading, or thought, or pledge of allegiance. Any volunteers? Seeing none? Oh. Which one you doing? You gotta tell us.
Well, this one will be, I'm going to read a thought.
Reading, okay.
I don't know how that
Josh
qualifies.
Daniels.
Yep, Josh Daniels. So today, Commissioners, is Constitution Day, and I'm going to read a thought that is sort of a prayer of George Washington on Constitution Day. He says, we may, with a kind of pious and grateful exultation, trace the fingers of Providence through those dark and mysterious events which first induced the states to appoint a general convention and then led them, one after another, into an adoption of the system recommended by that general convention, thereby, in all human probability, laying a lasting foundation for tranquility and happiness when we had but too much reason to fear that confusion and misery were coming rapidly upon us, that the same good providence may still continue to protect us and prevent us from dashing the cup of national felicity, just as it has been lifted to our lips, is my earnest prayer. And it's my prayer that we'll continue to look to the hand of providence as you make decisions that sort of guide and govern our county. Thanks.
I'll say amen to that. I'll lead us in the pledge if you would. If you'd stand and repeat the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, on our agenda, we will move everything temporarily over to consent agenda to be ratified, approved, or agreed to as stated on the agenda, and then we'll pull things off for consideration and then action. On the published consent agenda, if we could pull off item number 7, and if we could strike item number 12, as that was approved last week. Any others on the published consent?
No.
Okay, seeing none. Going to our published regular agenda, if we could hold number 5 and 6. Any others on the published regular?
Nope. No.
Okay. So everything else has been either agreed to or ratified or approved, except for the ones that we have pulled off. We'll move to item number 7, which is to approve and authorize declaration of items purchased with a grant and state appropriations money to be transferred to Juab and Miller County. I understand it was grant funded. Question is that did we replace these items, these desks and chairs in the facility you have here? Or are these just total surplus pieces?
So these were originally purchased for the purpose of them going down to the Drab Millard CJC when it was underneath us for 2 years. And then the Drab Millard CJC has now moved under Drab County. So it was originally purchased for that purpose.
So it's not like it's property that we have up here. It was always property that was down there.
Yeah, but we're just
okay.
kind of doing this for the records that though it was purchased through our purchasing system, it was intended for
Got it.
down there.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Go ahead, Tim.
Move that we approve consent agenda item number 7.
Second?
Got a motion and a second to approve consent agenda item number 7. All in favor, say aye.
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 That passes 3-0. Okay, number 5 on our published regular agenda is to approve and authorize the signing of an agreement for professional plan review and inspection services.
Hello, Steve Kitchen, building official. I just put this on the agenda to clean up the language in our contract that expired. We want to get that renewed. Through negotiations with WC3 and showing some data from the state of Utah's contracts, we were able to confirm that the rates in the contract were in line with or less than the rates that were in their contracts. So that's what this is about.
I've got two questions. One,
Okay.
is there not any consultants in Utah County that can do the same thing without them driving all the way from Layton and us being charged for it?
You know, I think there might be, but the need for this service has been so minimal that the budget remains low for that item. Our current budget, I think, was $2,500 for this year. I think we've only used maybe $500 so far of that this year. So going out to bid for something like that, we didn't feel was necessary unless the usage demand increases significantly.
Okay. Fair enough, yeah. There's one comment on there that says $1,964 is currently available. The question that's on, this is on the agenda, says how many years can this contract continue? Contract indicates it's good for 1 year and can be renewed for additional 1 year period, but there is no maximum number of years specified. In the past, it is not clear how it was verified that mileage was only within the county's jurisdiction. Purchasing has not yet reviewed this information. I don't know this. Have you reviewed this? Purchasing?
Yeah, there's an email in there from Robert Baxter. We had discussions with,
There's a letter?
there's an email.
All I see is the agreement. Unless I'm missing something.
Let's see, I just put a cover letter on there, but if you go back through the documents there, you'll see we had discussions with Robert Baxter via email, talking about the rates through the DCFM contracted rates at the state of Utah. And in his email, he comments that we're okay to go ahead with this proposal, granted that the rates are equal to or less than the state contracted rates.
Okay. Okay. And the last question, as I was reading down through this agreement, it contemplates that when they come from Layton, that there's a possibility they might use one of our vehicles instead of using their own personal vehicle?
No, they have never used our vehicles, nor would they.
So we can probably just strike that out of the contract then, out of the agreement.
Yeah, that was
'Cause
never the
that
intention.
brings up a liability issue for us with the
Yeah.
trust, if they would cover them if there was an accident and they were in the vehicle driving that.
Right, yeah, they never have used our vehicles, and there's no intention that they ever would. So if that language is in there, we'll need to remove that.
Okay. So I'm fine with that then, now that if we strike that part, Dave, I think you're,
That's, I think, under inspection services in the attachment, subsection B. The last part of that says unless using the jurisdiction vehicle, so that language could just be stricken.
Okay.
any other questions?
I would move that we approve regular agenda item number 5, striking the language as been mentioned.
Second?
I got a motion and a second to approve agenda item number 5 with the modifications and the striking of the use of the jurisdiction's vehicles. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That
Thank you.
passes 3-0. Okay, number 6 is to approve and authorize the signing of a contract between Utah County, Utah, and the United States Department of the Interior. On this one, Rob, there's some condemnation of property that's going on. It looks like the United States Department is doing the condemnation on this.
Against Utah County.
Huh?
Against Utah County. They're condemning Utah County.
Oh, Okay, I missed that part as I was reading down through it, because it looked like it was going against the property owners that have that little sliver over there.
No, what's happened is, we had a boundary line agreement put in place for our road, and when that boundary line agreement happened, on paper, we picked up 0.08 of an acre. However, the mortgage that was on that property, included that 0.08 of an acre. Title company, Central Utah Water has been trying to get that mortgage off of that property, has been unsuccessful in doing so. So we ended up with that property subject to that mortgage.
What do you mean the mortgage off that property if it's our
So
property?
the whole piece of property, there's a whole piece of property.
Right, it's just a little tiny bit at the bottom.
That's all we picked up, yes,
So why is there a mortgage on that?
because it was part of a greater parcel. The mortgage company had, when they recorded their mortgage, they had included that 0.08 of an acre as part of their mortgage.
So when we got title, it was subject to the mortgage, because the
Correct.
mortgage was already on the property when we got it.
That's correct. And so what's happening is the federal government is condemning the property now from us to wipe away the mortgage on that sliver of property, and then I think their intention is to give it back to us. They have tried working with the mortgage company. They have been unsuccessful in doing so. That does not, the mortgage company will still have its mortgage on the home and the rest of the property, the rest of the greater parcel that once was. But with respect to this 0.08 of an acre, that's what this agreement is. We're accepting essentially their condemnation, if you will, and we'll be receiving compensation for that parcel. And then their intent would be to give it back to us when they cleared off that mortgage.
So the prior owners, they're fine?
They worked
They're-
with us, yeah, they worked with us on
Okay.
this. It wasn't an issue, it was
Okay.
the mortgage company that was the issue.
All right,
And they've tried.
fair enough, thank you.
I'll move that we approve regular agenda item number 6.
Second?
I had a motion and a second to approve and authorize the signing of the contract as stated in number 6. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 3-0. From my understanding, the only thing that we need is number 8. That looks correct. And we can strike the others.
I'll move that we strike regular agenda items number 7, 9, and 10.
Actually, I may have some items for 7.
Okay.
So,
I'll
and
mod-
10. So let's just strike 8.
Well,
Or sorry, 9.
Okay, motion to strike regular agenda item number 9.
Second?
I had a motion and a second to strike agenda item number 9. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 3-0.
Move that we approve and set a date, time, and location for closed meetings as described in regular agenda items number 7, 8, and 10 for today's date at this location following the completion of the regular agenda.
Second.
I got a motion and a second to set the date, times, and locations as stated in number 7, 8, and 10. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes 3-0. And we have no work session items. Any public comment? Okay, we'll move into our closed meetings. Thank you.
Hey, Josh, how about I get a signature on your